Welcome, welcome, Deborah. Deborah Ives. It's such a pleasure to be able to interview you. Thank you for saying yes.
Oh, Jerry, it's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and we share a similar decade. I'll be 65 this year, and you 66.
66, yeah, I am. Yep.
So, would you just share a little bit about what transition has looked like for you and where you are right now in your life?
Sure. So I am happily single, divorced, no children. And since my divorce, which was about 17 years ago, I started to travel more solo and started to build up a community of women over 50 who were coming to solo travel for the first time. And so that has been quite consuming in the last sort of 10 to 15 years to build out this community. And obviously we're based around travel, but I think as we talk and as I talk with other women in our generation, it's a lot more than just travel. And so we've been able to kind of support each other, work together, but also to look at what does traveling bring to us? It's not just sort of seeing the world. So as we kind of get older and go through different decades, it I think it takes on a different, or it can take on a different relevancy. It can be about empowerment. It can be about, starting a new chapter in your life. It can be about finding happiness again. It can be about all kinds of things. So yeah, so that's kind of where I am right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, in this season, in our sixth decade, what do you feel like you're finally letting go of?
I want to say I'm stopping worrying about things that I cannot control. But I do think that I may be fooling myself a little bit because I find that quite challenging. And when I look back now over my sort of previous decades and think all of the things I used to worry about along the way, many of which never even happened, but you just kind of get caught in that trap. So I'm working so hard on obviously being concerned about things that are within my remit, but trying to just let go of that dialogue that you can get like 3 in the morning, kind of going down a bit of a rabbit hole of the what if scenarios. So I've become I've started to really practice more meditation. I'm doing a lot of more self-care with yoga and Pilates and other kinds of exercise, sound baths I love. So really trying to be a lot more chilled and not to kind of constantly find myself worrying about things that I can't do anything about.
Yeah, absolutely. And that radical self-care is also a daily practice.
It is.
Because yeah, it's we realize that the stuff in between our ears, like some of it softens, some of it goes away, most of it doesn't go away. But I think that we recognize that we need tools to help us navigate because it's not helping, like dis-ease, disease. Like
Right.
it's really doesn't serve us
It
at
does
all.
not, and it helps us, it causes inflammation, and for me in particular, sometimes I've really been trying to look at my eating habits, and I realize I'm a very emotional eater. I love to cook, I love to eat, but if I'm stressed and worried, I do that even more. So it just triggers all these behaviors, which
Yeah.
you're right, they don't serve us very well.
Yeah. So let me ask you, are there parts of your story asked to be shared, honored, or retold?
I look
I
back.
should say rewoven,
Oh, yeah.
like rewoven.
Yeah, I look back at sort of how I've ended up here, and I am in a very happy, content place. And I think, if my life hadn't had a radical change all those years ago, I would not be here. And the fact that because I found myself in the situation that I did, and then, the steps that I took. I mean, I'm just one of these people who just kind of gets on with things and, kind of knuckles down, and
Yeah.
I'm never afraid to try new things. But I just think about where I am now. And I think, the community that I'm a part of and the extension to that, all of the people I meet along the way because of it. So I think that's a really important part of my story. Is, of course it was, dramatic things happen and you have to kind of process all of that. And people do that in a different way. But I actually look back now and think, you know what, I'm actually pretty ha very happy with where I am now. So, at the time it was so dramatic. Now it's so positive. So that kind of making something new and better out of a bad situation, I think that's
Ah,
something that I think about a lot.
yeah. It's we look back, we don't stare.
Right.
And
That's a great expression. Yeah.
yeah, and as long as we get to excavate and get to the root cause of our suffering, it's crazy
Yeah.
how like same landscape seen through different eyes. Like,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's so hard because I mean there are lots of practical things that you have to deal with. When life throws you a curveball, but and you do get sort of deep in the details and but eventually I think it's just so rewarding to think that you can find a very positive way out of that and just kind of go on and do something that actually ends up being even better. So.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's like, us taking the poison pill and expecting everyone else to die.
Right,
It's like
right. Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't serve us, these
Right,
negative
right,
toxic thoughts or,
right, right.
so
Yeah.
so what might shift if you gave yourself permission to speak honestly without judgment?
Oh, Lord. This is a great, great question. I am a bit of a people pleaser, and I sometimes, well, I shall rephrase that. I quite often find myself saying yes to things, doing things, behaving in a way because I want to try and keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sort of trying to work on that a little bit and sort of listening to some great podcasts by people who kind of share techniques to try to be better with boundaries and not worry so much about what everyone's going to think about you if you say, I'm really sorry, I can't do that. So that if I feel if I could really get, better at that, I don't think that it would change anything really in terms of how people view me, but it would probably make me feel, um, that because I sometimes feel quite torn and quite sort of dragged in different directions. So it would help me, I think, focus a bit better. So it's a hard one to get to put back, especially for British people, not all British people.
I
We're
think
so
women,
like, oh, excuse
yeah,
me, sorry, excuse me.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
And
It's like finally getting to a place where our insides match our outsides.
right, right,
Like the way we're showing up is
right,
actually, truly how we feel.
right,
And
right.
that just it just takes a lifetime. It has for me. I don't know
Oh
for
my goodness, yes. And I mean, you see people who are women, in our age who are very much in the public eye, who are, I can think of lots of them who are actresses or whatever they might be. And they say, I feel so much more comfortable now in this decade. And I'm happy with my physical appearance. Well, not happy, but I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy that I'm strong and fit and I can get out of bed every morning and that I can
yeah.
go to the gym and I can do this and I can do that. And just being thankful for those things because it's not a given for everybody,
Uh,
not by any means.
oh.
Like,
And we're sitting at the head of the table now, like really knowing what's around the corner.
right,
It's like no parents and friends and
right,
relatives and that are
yeah,
sick and suffering and dying. And it's like,
hmm,
so it's like balancing out what we know is coming and
right,
around the corner
right,
with being present and
right,
really living our life fully for
right,
today. Like we
yeah.
really get that now.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right because we are, you're absolutely right. Dealing with things that we deal with families and, things become into sharper focus, I think now. Yeah.
Definitely. Oh God, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And so how has community supported you through change or transition?
Well, I think it's just finding a community that kind of is understands what you're going through and allows you to do what you need to do to get through to the other side of whatever it is you're dealing with. So whether it's somebody who just says, "Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
went through the same thing. nobody can tell you it will be fine, even if you tell if someone tells you that. You have to experience it for yourself. So I think, I've always had a lot of very strong friendships, family relationships, so we support each other. And then just, knowing, I mean, within the sort of community that I built online, I mean, it's a huge community of women traveling and the support in that community is unbelievable. Some woman will be in a little restaurant in Paris and she's lost and first time dining alone, and she might put a post in saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm here on my own and I don't know what to do with my hands." And within 2 minutes, 500 women have responded saying, "Hey, you should do this. And what about that? And I'm just around the corner. If you want me to come and help you, I can come." And so just knowing
I
that we have communities who can support us, I think it's just very reassuring.
Yeah, so as we started the conversation before we started recording with Claude and AI and all these platforms, really what people are searching for is connection, the human connection.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what you're creating, what we're
Right.
creating with the virtual women's
Right.
circle is it's
Right.
not brain surgery.
No,
It just,
and it's just reassurance, isn't it? It's reassurance that you're not on your own, that somebody else is either going through it, has gone through it, or is about to go through it, and just saying, "I understand."
yeah, yeah,
You're normal. Whatever it is that you need to hear, it's
yeah,
just, yeah, it's
yeah,
not. It isn't. You're right. It's not brain. It's just, that being there. Yeah.
yeah.
There
Like
we
we're
go.
not suffering in silence,
Right.
you
Right.
know? So, okay, so what would you tell women who are afraid of aging?
Um, I would say look after your physical self, and because there's aging and then there's healthy aging or because I do think it is so important to keep as mobile as we can. And to me, that matters a lot more than wrinkles or, going through the menopause or anything like that. To me, if I can if I can walk around, I can keep strong and healthy. And so I would say definitely don't be afraid of it, but just be aware of the things I think that matter a little bit more as you get
Yeah,
older,
I agree.
and chill and be happy and enjoy and just
Yeah.
embrace. And I do think that a smile and an open heart and a willingness to connect and share. I mean, I think that sends so much energy out into the universe. And I think that's such a powerful thing. And as we get older, we can share our life experiences. I feel we've got even more to share. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
totally.
good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so, what do you actually think gets better with age?
Oh gosh, what gets better with age? God, that's a tough one because I mean, I'm like everybody. I do look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, when did all of this happen and all of that? And so, I do take things a little bit slower. What gets better with age? I think my sense of humor does because, you just have to laugh at things now. And I think
I love
my circle of close friends, but also extended um, friends, connections, whatever you want to call them, that definitely gets better. And a little bit of wisdom goes a long way. Just sort of that whole, what, I'm not going to overreact to this because I've been there and I've seen it and I can be a little
yeah,
bit more relaxed. So that gets better with age, more comfortable perhaps.
I
Yeah,
love that. And
yeah.
so now I'm going to ask you rapid fire questions,
Okay. Ooh.
and it's one word answers.
Oh, okay.
So, and fast. So, one word that describes your 60s.
Travel.
Travel.
Yeah.
One thing that women overthink.
How we look, physical appearance.
Something you stopped apologizing for.
Something I still apologize for so many things. Maybe I should stop apologizing for keep apologizing. Yeah,
Good. That's
that's
good.
a tough one.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. That's a practice.
Yeah.
And one daily ritual that you cherish.
It's my meditation and yoga that I have started now, stretching, yoga, meditation. And it's so now important to me that it's
I love it.
really changing my life. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love to hear that. And one belief you've outgrown.
I've outgrown. Oh, that looks matter.
Yeah.
How you look matters. It doesn't. Yeah.
And now some closing wisdom. So, what would you, if you were sitting beside your 45-year-old self, what would you whisper to yourself?
I would say, don't worry about your future. You are held. You are supported, you are held. Believe that you are where you are supposed to be and trust that and relax and enjoy it all. Yeah.
I get very emotional. Um, and so, if this chapter is called What Now? How would you answer it today?
What now? Just more of the same, please. I mean,
Yeah.
just, more of everything, just more of the positivity, more of the kind of connection, more of the trust. Is taking me a long time to do that whole, just trust the universe, trust that you are held, trust. It's hard sometimes to do that. So just more of all of that. Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. I wish we got it 50s or 40s or 30s
Oh,
or 20s,
oh my
but
goodness, yeah.
this is the
So
way it's
right.
meant to
Yeah,
look.
so right. Because and at that point in my life, I was head down in the corporate world. And when you think about all the hours that you spend and the energy and the angst and all of that. And if you could just go back and say, look up for a minute, because
It's
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 going to go
so
so quickly. It's going to go so quickly.
I just it's like that mental cutting,
Yeah.
that is I finally was able to put down the hammer
Yeah.
and really
Yeah.
realize that, I'm enough. I'm enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. I'm enough.
Yeah.
So anything more that you would like to share with pearls of wisdom, anyone going through a transition or
Oh.
anything that you'd like to share?
I just know, I don't know whether I ever feel as though I'm sort of in a place to kind of give pearls of wisdom, but and this again is for me too, still. Slow down, just slow down. And I wished I had slowed down in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, even I'm halfway through my 60s now. And I just think, oh, I look back and say, oh my goodness, that month went so quickly, that year went so quickly. So
Yeah.
just slow down, just take it.
Well,